like, I have one on the floor, but I'm still trying to get that together.
I know it's about that life.
Mm-hmm.
You'll make it work. You make it work.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so yeah. So yeah, before we start, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. I think we'll have a discussion. Obviously, well, we can flesh out what it is. I think one of the topics, obviously, I think is maybe our thoughts and feelings maybe towards big conglomerates such as your own, stuff like that, and how we as black bloggers, how that can affect us,
Mm-hmm.
the impact they have, maybe some of the people that are working with them, and all sorts of sentiments and feelings about that. I think too as well. Also, I would love to also to address some of that. I think we said last time, but address some of the comments that you made in your video around the Alex situation. Maybe we can explain.
Yes. Okay.
Flesh that out so that people know what that's about as well.
Right.
That kind of conversation. I think those are two main things for me. But I don't know if there's another agenda for yourself. Maybe you want to address what I'll be.
Some things I don't know if you. The things that, okay, if I want to say this off the rip, I want to say this real quick, because when I make my comments on my channel about the Ready to Love, the interview, the different things, they've always connected them to you. A lot of times I had to always clear up and say, when I'm making these statements, I am not talking directly about this blogger. I'm talking about things that are surrounded around it, the networks, the cast, and whatnot. And I want to make sure I say here on your channel as well, that is not. A lot of it was directed towards you, not really towards you, but just because you were doing the interviews a lot of the times. So, and there's a lot of things that started, which you already know, with the put a ring on it, that whole fiasco. That's what a lot of the things, for me, to be honest, it kind of going a little left for me and on. I'm just being honest with you. It went down here.
I get it. We can discuss that as well. That's not at all.
Okay.
Happy to give a bit more context about what happens there and stuff as well. Yeah, that's not at all.
Okay. It's fine with me.
I think it'll be a good conversation. So
yes.
Yeah. Ready for more? Am I pronouncing it right? It's Commission Refuge, right?
That's it.
Bad names, so
that's it.
Okay. All right. You ready? I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Go right ahead. Welcome. To see all the background and all the stuff going on. Enjoy.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little 91. I am joined by Commission Reviews, and we are having a conversation. It's been a few weeks in the making, and we had this plan 2 weeks ago. We finally managed to find the right time to be able to now have this conversation.
Yes.
And what this conversation is about. But Commission, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Everything is rosy over here. I'm on vacation, actually. Staycation. Catching up on relaxation. I work along as also with being a blogger, so and also catching up my content. Just doing my thing, enjoying myself, really getting to breathe a little bit, sleep a little bit. I work overnight, so I don't get to sleep a lot.
Well, let's jump right in. I mean, for anybody joining us who doesn't know why we're having this conversation, I think this conversation was necessary. I think I messaged you a few weeks back, and I said let's have a live, and I think you previously messaged me as well, saying want to have a conversation live as well. I think there are some conversations we have because there's been maybe some miscommunications on both ends in terms of how we see things, how we perceive things, and things that might have been said on the net. So I wanted to kind of clear that up because I've been obviously some incidents I've had behind the scenes as well with certain shows as well, certain castmate situations, stuff like that. So I really wanted to use this as a platform and an opportune time to have a conversation between myself and you to be able to really, I guess, kind of come to the table. As Dr. Cole was saying, not plan, but come to the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. It doesn't have to be. We can have a discussion about anything. I'm open to it. Like I said before, I have no problem, even if there's things that we may disagree on. Like I say, a conversation needs to be had, and we can clear it right here. We're two black bloggers out doing content, and so hey, let's have that conversation.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Well, I guess obviously we can start maybe like the episode where it actually started from, where maybe there may have been the first kind of miscommunications in a sense around this. I'm actually not sure what the episode. I think it was. I think it might have been. But it wasn't put a ring in it. Put a ring in the situation.
I don't know what I don't know. I know, right? um, honestly, the only thing I remember to put a ring on it, I don't think it was really anything with us. I don't think it was. I know that you reached out to me about Dina, which you were open about on your platform, and so was I. That was the only thing I remember um, us talking about. Now, I did do an interview. Okay, so you did an interview with Kai, and I think what it was, I made comments about the interview, and your chat didn't like it. That's pretty much what it was. At the time, me and Kai are not as cool as we are now. Me and Kai at the time, it wasn't positive. So most of the things that I said were mostly towards her and her direction, negative or whatever. But either way it goes, people still came to the chat and had things to say. I think even that might have been the same live or the same week that Crystal came to my chat and made like negative comments again. And I said it even in that live, it wasn't towards you, but people took it that way because of the comments that I was saying, negative towards Kai, and when I kind of shot a little bit towards Crystal, a little bit in the chat. But that was pretty much it. And I just knew then, I just left it alone. But I always repeated it throughout the live. I was like, it's not towards him. Because I knew you're going to take it that way. Not you, but the chat. And it did anyway. But that's all I remember.
Yeah, I feel like you remember that situation, but again, I don't think I think that one I didn't take any kind of risk. But again, it was people bringing up to me, and to be honest, it was a review of my actual information. It's fair. You know what I mean? Like if you review my interview, that's fair. I think that's all fair. Number one, we do the exact same thing with bloggers here. We interview, we review, and sometimes people will not like it. So that part. Yeah, I don't think I had any particular qualms or issues at that particular point. I think maybe we can talk then about potentially, I guess, maybe the Alex situation. The next one.
Yes.
Right. So
that situation was crazy because initially when somebody kind of put me in contact with her without anybody knowing about it, and then me and her spoke about the interview, we set it up and everything else, I advertised it, all that stuff. Everybody knows that part. And then all of a sudden, because she kept calling me, it was really weird. Everybody said the same day, she kept calling me a whole lot. I was at work. It's insane. So I was trying to do a lot of stuff going on. Then when she was like, I'm not doing the interview, and then she kept making all up these different stories about this, and the first thing she said was that you had said these things about me, don't do an interview with her. And I was like, that doesn't even sound like him. But I was so upset. I was so whatever. And normally I would have reached out or something, which is normally how I handle things. And I remember I came off and I went on my live and I got upset. But then I also did another live right after that. I think I apologized to you. And I think I hit you up and I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And you was like, no problem. I don't, you wouldn't worry about it. No big deal. And that was the end of that. But that's really what that was. And the reason why I got so upset about her doing that is because I told her, I said, you literally, once again, talking to everybody to a black man saying he spoke bad about a black woman. And you did it for the purpose of what? When you could have just told me what it was. You wanted to do an interview with a blogger that had more numbers. And that's the way I feel about it. I still feel that way. And then she went in to tell me about how the other cast said this and said that. I'm like, at this point, you came off with this first really bad lie. I don't believe anything you say. Even though the other part might be true too. But that's where it started with you. That's really what it was. She brought you in it for no reason. Nothing was that bad said about you. She just all of a sudden said it. Instead of just owning up to it, saying she wanted to do a lie with somebody who had more numbers. That's all she had to say.
Okay, I mean that does make sense. Again, I think I was oblivious. So I was oblivious to it because I think I reached out to Alex individually. I didn't know that you before a post of yourself.
Right.
When I had reached out, that's also a post of yourself. I hadn't done it. I was like, great, she did an interview for me. So fantastic. No problems around that. She did one-on-one. So in this room with 5-minute table. So
right.
Yeah, there's no competition here. And so yeah, that's what I reached out to her. I didn't say that she should quit anything. I didn't say she should leave that person. Because as far as I'm concerned, it was about Alex getting out her truth. So you've got more platforms to do it on. Fantastic, you have the opportunity to do that on multiple platforms. Go for it. So I was totally oblivious to anything that happened behind the scenes, which is why I think there was a bit of that at the time.
About who? About me?
About Alex situation.
I did do a video about it. I was pretty upset about it. And like I said, the thing that I constantly said, especially in the other video, I said that the thing that angered me so much is because I talk so much about as far as black people, black men. I was raised by a black man. It bothered me the fact that I got upset. Normally check everything that I do, and I just I mean I'm human, and I went off an emotion, which is something I should have done. I'm an adult and I know I did that. That's why as an adult I came in my live and I said what I said. I said because I did not like that, the fact that she wanted to use you when I was like he had nothing to do with it. It really was simple. It wasn't like we're going at each other or anything like that. You could have just simply said, I love, thank you, but whatever for the opportunity. But I would rather do the interview with him, and not even give me the reason. Just even if she just said that, that was I never understood, and I still don't to this day why she did that. And she's apologized about all the kind of stuff, whatever. But it is what it is. And at the time, you have to understand with me doing the interviews and going through what I went through with the own. I can even go back what I was saying before about put a ring on it is where everything kind of got started for me as far as negative. Because before for years I did interviews with the cast from Ready to Love, and I did it. I was green as far as a blogger, so I would just get the interviews, and they were green as well, being on TV and all kinds of stuff. I would just get the interviews, and we would just do them naturally to a point where after a couple of years, and the show started building up, more people started doing interviews and stuff like that. And then I started those things started changing. You got to go through a PR, blah blah blah. So when I did to put a ring on it, I started interviewing Darren's entire family. That's when I noticed a change. They never cared how I did it. They didn't care how I got the interviews. It wasn't no big deal or anything like that. But when I started interviewing from Dina to his ex to his mama, that left a bad taste in their mouth. They'll never admit it, but I know that because when I actually hit him up, trying to do the right thing, to the PR and all that kind of stuff. That's when I got, and I even hit you up at the time. This is about the same time when I messaged you about it. You was like, "Hey, they hit me up, up." So I got the information from a cast member, the PR, hit them up. Then I get this long email about how I said these things in the live and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like anything that I said. And I knew from reading the letter that it was almost like a blacklist as far as doing the interviews. And because I never had a problem before, I started reaching out to other casts and asking them questions about my name, what's going on. And they started saying, "Yeah, whatever you did, you upset them because you're on the list of not to interview with." And so when the whole thing happened, where Alexia would say it, would go live. She would just say it every time about a lot of bloggers she didn't like, whoever it was. But for me, once she got upset with me, it was every time she went live. So for me, I felt like I was battling. It was never was trying to blacklist me, as somebody stated. I felt like I was being blacklisted by some of the cast and by the network because it is what it is. After that, it was always a no. It was always. So people started looking at it. I was mad or upset, and I was competing against you, and it never was like that. That's why I constantly said it in every one of my videos. If your name came up, if you was a topic or something's going on, I would always say, "You guys are going to take it, but you're not listening to what I'm saying." I can speak and have an opinion. It doesn't mean I'm beefing with this content creator who I respect. I've said it before 100 times, and so I'm still. I did get an interview last season. For me, it's like they don't want me to any of the cast to interview with me. I know that for a fact, even though some want to or still do. They're not going to ever come out. I'm not going to ask them to say it, but I know that, and it is what it is. I'm not going to change who I am. People going to like it. people are gonna like it. I don't think I'm gonna be for everybody. I don't think every blogger is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that. And so I don't. It bothered me in the beginning. It did. Feeling like a black woman. Here we go with the same thing. But I will fight against it. All of a sudden, my views, subscribers started growing because I will start channeling that energy and started dropping tea and all this stuff, and then that went from boom, 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 and I think that probably made them more mad. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna get whatever, and I respect it. Now the whole thing with Laverne, all this stuff that happened recently, that was kind of crazy because when me and Laverne spoke, it was organic, it was natural. We set the interview up, and I even hit him up, and I was like, "Look, I knew he had done an interview with, and I know I've said it before. You know how I am. I'm very straight up. The people that I want to do interviews with, and I stated you and XOXO, and I can't remember the other content creator's name. I always say that I'm very transparent, and I told him this, and he was like, he's on man. He'll do what he want to do. As soon as I posted it, like it was in the full 24 hours, is when he hit me back and was like, I can't do the interview. I don't trust anyone. And I was like, okay, didn't second guess it or nothing like that. Until, just like you said, people send you stuff. Got a DM of a screenshot of him doing a lot. I mean, I'm sorry, doing an interview. And my thing is, there was no purpose of you telling me, you know, you could just say, hey, I got to do this stuff. Many cast members do that. On different shows I've worked with, they'll tell me, hey, I'm going to do an interview with you after blah, 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 blah. Every series on reality TV is like that. I never understood why he responded and said what he said. And that's how that happened. So it seemed like, and I don't like kind of being attached to me where it's like, a cast member will cancel on me because they want to do an interview with a bigger blogger. That's what's being known now. Or to cancel me because of them like my content or whatever. I'm just being honest. That's what my world is becoming to right now.
No, I can understand your plight here in terms of the situation with Mo and what's happened with Corinne and everything to love, and very much like yourself in terms of being blacklisted. I was also on the original blacklist.
Oh, really?
I was originally on the blacklist. And my thing was that whether I'm on the blacklist or not, I'm gonna still put reviews out. That was my thing. Like it is what it is. Like, and those who want to interview me want to come and interview me.
Right.
And yes, is my platform being larger and influence as to why now maybe Owen have accepted? Maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? It's business for them. At the end
right.
of the day, it's business, right? I would go as also to say that I think with this situation, I think what I was hurt by, I would say, rather, is that whilst in some sites I've listened to a lot of his stuff, you do praise what I do, and you don't come against me per se. I'm not saying that at all. But what I have heard is sometimes in the midst of when you're frustrated or angry, I do get put into the scenario of what you're talking about, and it's not in the case of you reviewing my channel or reviewing an interview I've done. Let me give you an example. For instance, when you say, okay, the reason why people are coming on to my channel, or the reason why people like me, is because I have a British accent. Whilst part of that is true, I've been working at this game for 6 years on YouTube, 7 years now, full-time last 2 years, but 7 years in total on YouTube. Before I got to where I was, right, in terms of where I am now, it was 5 years of being at like under 10K. Like I wasn't a big platform, right? And so I made a decision to put out certain reviews in a certain way because I wanted the audience to receive something from me, which is what I naturally do, which is coach. So I wanted to do more coaching aspect when I do my reviews. I intentionally took this route because I wanted to make sure that the kind of content I was doing was geared in a particular way. So that's the reason why. So when I got onto Ready to Love, for instance, I didn't have any interviews the first season, but first season. This first season is that Divine Alexis and London. That first season.
I don't think that's the first. I think that's the second.
The second season. Okay, maybe second season. Okay, so the only interview I ever got from that, it was London reacted to one of my videos that I did as a review, and said, "Bro," he called me out. He's like, "Bro, I don't agree with this." We had a conversation,
right?
Around chat, and he then did the first ever interview with me, right?
But,
now, yeah.
No, what I'm gonna say is this. Okay, so after I did that, and yes, I did say that. I do not own anything that I say. I'm a grown woman. I did say that, and somebody came to me and told me some information about you, and I was some stuff you said now. I didn't really know anything about you. I can't, I'm not gonna lie. When I go off, I go off. I don't half that or anything like that. I'm a very opinionated woman, and I'm not saying I'm proud of that moment. I mean, that's a small moment that you can probably say I may have done it a few times because on a normal basis, if you were in my path, it's way worse than that. But still, I don't think you deserve that. So I do apologize for that. But you have to, and I'm not making any excuses or anything because I will stand up for a black man 100%. But you have to understand the back and forth, and it's not even just about your numbers because I hear that even from your people who come into my chat. And I don't even think you look at it. I don't think you look at it that way. But the chat room do. They don't know how it is to be in front of a camera to talk to people, to get up here and schedule things between work and life. They don't know how it is to deal with that. To deal with even when you said you were black, I didn't know that. Even when you dealt with that, nobody understands how it feels except for us who do this every day. So I read my comments and I read people's comments too. And sometimes I'm like, y'all just don't really understand what we have to go through. So you can judge me for the way I carry myself, the way I do. I'm proud of everything that I have stood for, everything I've said. I'm proud of myself. It took me a while to get to where I am now. I didn't have any help. I had to struggle to get here. I deleted the whole channel because it was extremely negative to start over another brand. Not only that, now I also help other black women create their brand, create their channels. I'm helping them do that because it's something that I literally want to do. So, so they won't go through what I went through. I went through a lot of negative things coming up on YouTube and trying to learn. There really wasn't nobody around, probably wasn't around for you either, to say, hey, don't do that, or get this, blah blah. I had to get that on my own. And so what I want to do now is help other people who try to come up on YouTube and get their channels together. I have like a crew, I call them, where I help them, guide them, if they have any questions, and they're doing great. And I love that. So I can take the negative and turn it to a positive. I'm not always getting upset or whatever. It's so much more to me than what some people might, actually think or see. It's so much more than me. I'm a military brat. So y'all might say saying I'm sorry, I'm backtracking. That's because of the way I was raised. I was raised by my parents who that's what it was. If you did something wrong, you own up to it. And you apologize for it. That's the way I was raised. I have manners. So if you think I'm backtracking because I apologize to this man, then it is what it is. I don't know how that's like that.
Appreciate apology. Sorry, I should have finished before I let you work because obviously it's going to feel like it kind of going on back and forth all the time. But I think so. There's a particular video that I'm getting this information from. So I actually watched the video like 3 times because that's why I tend to do. I kind of watch videos like this all the time and I quote what they were said. So I just want to just bring this to your attention because I know you said that obviously maybe you weren't necessarily trying to get at me, but when you at the body of what was said in just this one video, like you were getting at me. Do you know what I mean? Like if I keep going back to 100, it was getting at me. Because some of the stuff that was said, I was like, yo, like I'm just my man trying to do what I do. I'm just trying to trying to do my thing, And I get the fact that I wouldn't even acknowledge in terms of something that you even said, I wouldn't even agree against that with you saying, is there an advantage being a black male in this space, one that's from Britain in an American space? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's an advantage for me. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Is there an advantage that I have an accent? Absolutely. Yeah.
But see, people got mad at me. People got mad at me for. I'm sorry. People got mad at me for saying that, and that's. I mean, it is what it is. When you have any kind of, if I had an accent, something, anything different, it does make it a little bit easier. And when I say stuff like that, you know, people get upset. And if you took it that in a bad way, then you know, if because the way I was coming up, I was going off. Yes, but I'm saying, I mean, if you took that part in a bad way, I don't know what to tell you because that is really what I meant. I'm that part. I did still mean that.
Yeah, no, I'll finish the part because it wasn't just that, right? But that first part, I'm saying I can agree with you on that part, right? I can agree with that part that there's an advantage. Is that the reason? Because what you kind of implied, you said it. The reason why I'm in the sense of getting these interviews is because of those advantages. And I'm like, that's not why I'm getting interviews because I was blacklisted alongside of you, right? There's another one who also is getting the interviews now. You have Maria S, who's also getting interviews. She's at the same level as you. She's got just about 1,000 subscribers as well, and she's also getting the interviews. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm looking at it, and I was like, I was so bemused by the fact that this was being used as a reason why you weren't getting the interviews. And I was like, but I was blacklisted too. You know what I mean? You said some other things, right? You said, okay, I'm from England. So it's easier for me to kind of get followers. I work for own TV. I don't work for own TV. I do not work for own TV. I've never worked for own TV. I'm my own YouTuber. I do my own thing. I don't get paid by own. You know, do I collaborate with own? Yeah. And when they reach out to me, say, hey, you can interview X, Y, and Z, right? But I don't work for own. And if my audience can testify, the amount of times I also come and say, I don't like what own did, what own has said here. I don't like what they've done. I don't like the producer said here. I've said that things, right? And I'm always ready for the comeback, which is if I talk against your company, be prepared that they may not want to do business with you. And that's also understandable, right? Mm-hmm. I have to take that side of things. That when I did a whole video where I said, when it was a Darwin and Alexa situation, I said, what the heck is production doing, fam? Why do they do all this stuff? And I put it out there, right? Because regardless of whether I do business or not, if I feel that something's not right, I'm gonna say it's not right. You know what I mean? So that was part of some of the things you were saying. There was some other things you said. Not quick to defend the man, but with an accent. You said, that. You said also as well that that you created that. You basically kind of implied that you created the panel idea, and I copied it. And I was like, again, no, because the panel idea. If anybody wasn't from yourself, unfortunately, it was actually from a UK YouTuber. We've been doing panel reviews for so long. He's a football YouTuber, and he did a panel thing. And I was like, oh my god, he's doing panel reviews. I was like, maybe I can do this. And you know what I mean? So, I was confused by the fact that you were able to make such a strong assertion that I copied you in that moment, because I was like, hey, I didn't copy you.
Well, you said I said that exactly. I said that exactly. You copied me.
You said that.
I was really mad. I don't know what to say. See, I mean, that to me, you telling me that is. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know how to say this. You telling me this is like, okay, I said it. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I didn't say it or anything like that. I said what I said. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I said what I said.
Yeah, I just want to bring to attention.
No, I understand. I'm listening. Because I remember some things you were saying, but that's fine. Like I said, it's fine. I'm listening to every. I'm not gonna change or didn't say it.
No, I appreciate it. I think obviously, again, it's slightly different ways to talk about like that. I think someone had made a message on that video and I delete comments or whatever. And I was like, I couldn't delete comments unless they've actually got swear words in, or
gotcha.
You have something that's really foul.
Yeah, same.
They don't be deleted. They only listen to a few moments. So that I didn't delete no messages on that. and I think also as well, I think for me, my greatest issue in this whole situation is that I don't like being reduced to being, because I'm a black man who's from UK, who's got an accent, and that's why I have an advantage. I don't want it to be that case. I also don't want it to be a case where I'm competing against any vlogger in space for everybody. Like, you'll never hear me trust other vloggers about, if they're doing their job, right? Unless it's like pertaining to something, to like a situation comes up, whatever, right? But like the times that you kind of say some of these things, I think it's because obviously you feel hurt at the situation. I can understand that. It's just hurtful for me because I'm like, yo, I ain't never said that. I don't do return videos. I don't do retaliation videos. I'm just like, yo, like, I just want to chill. Like, I just want to do the work and just flow. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted you to be aware of what you kind of said, because I feel like I don't want it to. I don't want to miss the opportunity and say that this will hurt. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, don't want you to be hurt, but I'm not gonna lie to you. If I feel like I felt at the time, I say what I say. I'm not gonna backtrack or do anything like that. That's just not my style. If I said what I said, I said it, and you're telling me about it and how you feel. It does mean something to me, but let's be honest. As far as bloggers, I know you say you don't say anything to retaliate, and I believe everything that you say. But there's also a moment of bloggers standing for the blogger when things are going on. So, or reaching out. I mean, a few did. I guess for me, I didn't know where you stood on the situation. I don't know if I'll say you work for own. I always say stuff like, to be honest, I always say bought and paid for by own, and it's a statement that I make as far as like not necessarily you're getting paid, because to be honest, I didn't think any of you guys would get paid, but I would say things like, like you said, they would hit you up, give you little such whatever, that's just something that I just assume whenever I make statements like that, people are like, no, 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 no. It's like they would have to be in contact in some kind of way. Okay. So I agree with you on some things that you said, but just like you said you were blacklisted or whatever, and you said you went off about the whole Darian thing. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. But when that kind of stuff happened with the Darian stuff, did anything happen to you or your channel or anything? Nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. So even though I feel like, as far as me hurting you, is something that, so I really do apologize for what I said. I didn't want to disrespect you or hurt you. I was pissed. Okay, I'm just being. I don't know how to tell you. I was pissed off, and so, but in reality, and not that you guys had to. When that stuff went on for you, nothing happened. You didn't have to deal with any of that. So I'm just being honest. It happened to me. So you say, yeah, I said this stuff about Darren, blah 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 blah, and it's no shade to you. I'm just telling you, it's different for me as a black woman. It's not the same for us in the media. When I talk to black women, especially out here on YouTube, it's the same thing. They're either on the bad list or they get no response at all. So that's when I say stuff about the black and his advantage. That's what I say. And I understand you may not agree with that, and I don't want to reduce you to that as well. But it is what it is. For me, as a black woman, gonna sit here and assume that I'm ghetto, even though I was not raised in the ghetto. I was raised in the military, raised in the suburbs. They're going to assume I'm a black woman who's ghetto and all these extra different things. That's not even true. I've seen it in my own comments. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. What I would say is I definitely totally aware of the fact that, I'm totally aware of the fact that, like I said again, again, we talk about this on the show here, that of course there's going to be an advantage in this market, right? And my thing to you is, of course, there's an advantage, but is that the reason why the blacklisted? Have you asked why the blacklisted?
I have actually reached out and talked to a few people behind the scenes, and most of the things happen when all the stuff happened with the Darian thing. Okay, and because for me, the way I responded, I was angry at home. So at that time period, it was a tornado for me. I would be going, going live and saying what I was saying, and I'm pretty sure that didn't help the situation. It is what it is. I mean, I'm every person in here in this chat can tell me that they made a mistake and haven't grown from it, and I did from that situation. I mean, I still will go on my life, speak my speak. That's why I say I would or continue to say that I feel like I am a rebel blogger. I'm gonna always go against it. I don't think whether the blogger is better to me or be better than anybody else. They all have their opinion, and they all have their things that they feel like they need to say. I don't know why. I think my thing went out for a second. It went out for. I'm sorry. But no. I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be what I be. I'm not gonna change who I am. Nothing like that. I mean, I'm happy that we had this conversation. I'm really sad that you felt the way that you felt, but I'm happy we were able to talk about it, and I'm also happy that I was able to tell you what I told you. But the thing about it is, now I feel like people will come to me with information, and so now I'm dropping T. But I'm also reviewing and I'm also interviewing. I'm also working with other networks. I'm kind of getting out of OWN. I mean, I'm still gonna do OWN. That's my first channel I've ever did. But I'm also doing with other channels as well. And it's just those waters you got to move very careful. So I learned a lot from OWN, unfortunately, good and bad. But as far as bloggers is concerned, I don't want us to be negative or anything. I don't want us to have, and we really haven't or nothing like that. I just don't want us to have anything after this. That's why I wanted to have the conversation. Even though people are going to have their opinion in the chat, they don't know what we have said behind the scenes. They don't know what anybody has told us. Somebody said they all can have their opinion, but they don't know what we do, whether it be for the cast member, a producer, or what we're going through behind the scenes. And it's just they always have an opinion about what we do. And I find that very interesting because if you actually ask anybody in the chat that talk about no negative or positive about any of us, when they get behind the screen and get a mic and do what we do, they couldn't actually do it. They would not be able to go through with it. I'm sorry. They wouldn't attempt it. But they love to critique us and how we do things. But a lot of it, like I said, when I started dropping the T around that show, I think I exposed a lot. And when you work with networks, from what I was told, exposing producers is not really a good thing to the show. You will get blacklisted. And so once I did that, there wasn't really a whole lot. I can't turn at the time, and I don't regret anything that I did. So that's where a lot of it came from.
No, I totally get that. I totally understand that. In terms of, if you expose producers, then yeah, I totally get it. I totally get and understand that. I think also just one more thing that just came to my mind as well. You did a separate video where I think you mentioned about the apology that he sent me in Instagram DM, and I remember he sent me the apology in the DM, and then she woke. I think it was just because I was asleep that time. I got to bed early for once in my life, and I woke up to yeah. I think I listened to it, but I was asleep. And I went back to bed, and then when I woke up, the apology was gone. And then you made a video after saying you apologized to me, but then I didn't reply and I didn't say nothing to you. And I was like, yo, when you sent it to me, I was half asleep and I wasn't even awake. So when I listened to it, I was half asleep. I didn't get to fully listen to what you were even saying or reply to it. And then I get a video response from it. And I think it's these things that I'm talking about. That, hey, look, I'm a person that is all about, you know what, if you said it, you said it. But I'm also about the situation where it's like, okay, like, I don't want to keep doing that. Do you know what I mean? Because, of course, it's one video, but it's another video. And is there going to be another one? Like, so for me, it's like, I'm I don't, like I said, I don't hold grudges. That's not my kind of thing. I let things go.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to bring that up because I was like, yo, like, babe, like, I honestly didn't get a chance to reply. And you unsent the apology because it was a voice note and then put up really well. So I want to kind of get your kind of perspective. Maybe you had a different perspective in terms of what happened or, what you saw.
I was irritated. And it seemed like you said that you had unsent it. I think you had just went live or something. That I can't remember the circumstances around it. I don't know if you had went live that night or whatever, and I hit you around that time and you didn't respond. I don't remember exactly. I wish I had noticed. I wish you had said something to me at the time. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I probably unsent it like you said. There was a lot going on at the same time with Alex and all that mess was happening. I literally can. I remember you had when you had did that long live the panel or something like that. I don't remember. I was like, how is that he didn't get the message? And I don't even remember exactly how I was thinking like that. But yeah, I said what I said again. Now that I'm not gonna apologize for it, but I just simply said I sent him an apology. I wasn't lying about it. I did send you an apology, and it was probably just what I said. The same thing I said on my video that it was a mistake. She told me that she lied on you or something like that.
Okay, so why would you? Okay, so if you apologize and unsend an apology, that's not an apology. If we're honest with ourselves, that's not an apology.
But I said it again on my live, so it is an apology. If I didn't say it again at all, then yeah. But I said it on my live more than one time after that.
What I mean by that is it's not okay. So you would have apologized, but it's not. It's not. How genuine can a sorry be if you unsend the apology? Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I apologize to you, right, and then take it back, like, actually I didn't send that. Forget that. I'm not sending the apology because you didn't reply to my apology, right? I was half asleep when I was looking at it, so that's why I woke up and I was like, I'm seeing a video and I'm like, yo, like, man, I was half asleep, bro. I didn't even get a chance. You know what I mean? And so I think again, those are the kind of things I'm talking about when I say that shoot off the hip where you feel hurt or disrespected by maybe something I've done, which I can understand. But then, you know, like it don't bode well because like if you're really apologizing, you apologize. You know, mm-hmm. That's not an apology if you take it back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I mean, that's the way you feel, I guess. I had said it before that more than once. I mean, I don't know how many times I can say it. I guess I can see what you mean in that instance, but the apology was said. If I took it back and never, ever said it or didn't mean it, but I did say it to you more than one time because I wanted you to hear some kind of way. I didn't think you could watch every video, but I knew somebody would get it back to you some kind of way. Somebody would say, "Did apologize." But I mean, and then let me ask you the question. And all those times you're speaking about, why didn't you say anything to me? Like DM and say, "Hey, why you think of nothing?" You didn't say anything.
I don't like beef. I'll be honest with you. I don't like it. For me, it wasn't productive to say anything.
But I'm saying you're saying it now because I don't understand why you didn't say nothing then.
Because we're addressing it all now.
Mm-hmm. Because I would have. No, I was gonna say I would have loved to have known that you thought that well, it is what it is. You said that.
I get it, but at the time I was like, yo, like, you heard the video, and I'm like, okay, I've just got to focus on work I'm doing at the time. So I wasn't thinking like, yo, sending them a message like, I was like, like, I was half asleep, so I don't remember half of what even being said. That's what I'm trying to say. So I didn't want to now make it a big thing. You know what I'm saying? And I had work, so I was like, fam, just get back onto work, bro. Like, if you unsend it, in it. But then what happened is then after we got another video talking about what I had done, and I was just like, like, okay, cool, so we're back here again. And that's when I sent you another message saying, okay, I think it'd be good for us to talk.
Okay.
Right? Because
I see what you're saying.
That, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, prior to that, for instance, when you hit me up and said, oh, so-and-so has spoken about you in live, and I'm like, oh, Kamisha, I really appreciate that because I didn't know, right? So when other people have mentioned me, you've come out respectfully and said, Coach, do you know this person said this value? And I respect that because you've come to me and said, right? For instance, we had Alexis, original Alexis or whatever, Alex situation, yeah, right? And you didn't know. And I was like, oh, I appreciate that, thank you, Kamisha, So, yeah, so that's why I was so amused because we've gone from there to being in the space where I get videos on me. I was like, whoa, like it was cool. When the Dina situation happened, I first almost came to you first before I contacted Dina, and I was like, actually, I was like, you know what? No, let me leave it. No, let me leave it. Like, do not do the interview, right? And yeah, I didn't do the interview, and I didn't contact you. I don't think I contacted you. I might have contacted, but I don't think I went through it in the end, right? But I first came to you first because I respected the fact that you had done an interview on it first. I already had a Facebook contact detail, but I said, let me first ask me if it's cool. Because I want to do things in a respectful manner because you've been respectful to me. So that's why I was like, I think that's why it threw me so off left. because I was like, we had respectful communications, and you've been respectful as well. So it's like, yeah, that's why I was a little bit like iffy about the situation.
Because I remember with the Dina situation, what you said was that really wasn't your content, and I found that interesting, especially when you did the Alex interview, which is really similar, asking somebody outside of the cast about their situation or whatever. And I just remember that time, and I was like, well, he was like, this is not his content because I know Dina told me the same thing that she did. I reached out to you and I said, I told her that was a good look, but nobody really responded back or whatever. Nobody did, except for me. And so when you reached out to me, I was like, he didn't really have to. I respected it, but he didn't have to because if he wants, I want her to talk to whoever. So I didn't understood it when you reached out to me because it wasn't like that's her own thing. I wasn't like her agent, but I respected what you were doing. I got it, but I was just like, well, I mean, whatever he wants to do with her, she's an adult. But it just tripped me out though because you said that wasn't your content, and then the Alex situation happened, and I was like, that's the same content. It's kind of what I do when I drop tea and people don't like it. I do both. I do the review, I drop tea, I drop content. But when you did the interview with her, would not I mean, I'm just me asking this, would that not be the same content as the Dina story with Darian? And for people who are saying who was Darian, that Darian was part of the put a ring on it, and he was the one that ended up having the affair or whatever you want to say with Kai, and then there was the alleged the 14-year all that mess, and I actually interviewed his mom, his baby mom, and Dina was one of his girlfriends, and eventually Kai, because people in the chat saying but they're not understanding the reference to the Darian situation.
Yeah, I mean at the time, I think the big difference between Alexis and the Dina situation is
Alex? You're talking about Alex, right?
Sorry, Alex. I like to have, if we're going to do something like this, it needs to be done cleanly in a way that fits my brand. Number two, I wanted to make sure that I had witnesses, receipts, everything before I release anything, right? Because that's the reason why I allowed to do that particular interview. Because we had, first and foremost, I had people that had already around Alex who had already testified to the situation before Alex got what she was saying. Then I had the receipts from Alex as well. So I could actually present it in a very meticulous way.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me is so important because delivery on my channel is one of the most important things that I take to the highest ground. I'll say anybody on my channel, I always say this. It's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the biggest issue with tone and everything like that. And so when I was doing this, I was like, I don't know if I can present this in a way that would fit the brand. But with the Alex situation, I already had eyewitnesses, I had people that had spoken to me already, I had castmates already spoken to me. Then I had Alex, and then she gave me the receipts as well. I can present it properly. And if there's something that's inconspicuous about it, then I can go, oh, look at Alex, this don't work with the brand. Right? So
let me ask you a question. People said that Alex lied, and Dina's actually all Dina's receipts that the receipts she gave me actually matched up. Eventually, Darian said it was true. His mom verified what Dina said. I don't know if you had the information at this time. I have no idea. Alex turned out to be a liar actually after the interview. So I was just curious the difference. Is why I was asking honestly. Yeah, I mean that's the narrative. Yeah, but everything with I'm just saying. I mean, I know what you're saying, and Alex did have a lot of receipts. She did because I saw her receipts too. So I understand what you're saying with that. She had a lot of detailed information, and so I get what you're saying with the Alex stuff 100%. But with Dina, I also had a lot of the receipts and people saying stuff too. So I mean, I'm not sure if you were privy to the same information. I was just curious the difference because I said Dina, I feel like was a receipt queen. She had everything to their first date, and people also collaborate saying that it was correct. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. Maybe at the time you didn't have it. It was kind of quick when you were trying to. The time, maybe I don't know. You said you had more previous information before you even contacted Alex, so that situation was a little bit different. But for me, I had everything.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot. Like for instance, you had access to the mother. I didn't have any of those.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And I didn't want to have to go through that channel to try to find like the Alex situation. To me, there were people that were
right. I got you.
Were credible sources. That's why it was so much more different. And I can go, actually, that's cool. Because when she first came in on the live, I didn't hear her up straight away.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny until people started saying there's credible sources that are saying this. And I was like, all right, cool. If you've got receipts, come let's talk about it, right? And I had a conversation with Alex first, and I went through the whole story. I said, okay, what's this? To make sure that I said, if this is not really sound, I'm not about to put on my channel. I don't do the whole let's do this with this. That's why it sounded. That's why when I did it, it sounded like cult because that's how I take it. It's like cult for me. I don't want anyone to come be like, oh. I'm like, no. This is X, Y, and Z. Here's a receipt for it. Here's a receipt for it. Here's a receipt for it.
Right.
Did I have her receipts? I had the other side's receipts, which I could compare against the two of them, which is why I can actually do the interview because I had both sides to be able to say, oh, so that's what I was trying to say.
Gotcha.
That don't match this matches up. That don't match up. This matches up. So that's why I could then go ahead and do it. So for me, it was making sure that I covered X, Y, and Z first before I do it because nobody needs a case.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Somebody in the chat I want to respond to. When I say I deleted a channel that was negative, I was on YouTube, and I was young. I didn't know what I was doing, and so the people that was around in that area was very negative. If you don't really understand or know the past, you really should not speak on it. So I actually deleted an entire channel to start over a brand new channel. That was something that I chose to do. Nobody asked me to do it. It was something that I chose to do. So I was just my family is in the chat, and my sister is telling me to calm down. I'm not gonna do that. If people in the chat do not like the energy, it is what it is. I'm giving my energy and all one I'm concerned about this moment that's receiving this energy and how they feel about it is Kojo because I'm on his channel. Everybody else, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Again, I think that's it. We kind of clear stuff. So, I want to say that I appreciate, I think I said the other time I mentioned, your channel as we got the tea from the community.
Yeah.
So we appreciate. I can't put it out, but if you put it out, I'll get it.
For sure. For sure.
I'll put it out.
For sure.
But if you put it out there, I'm like, cool. That's the evidence. That's the evidence. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And so, I appreciate the channel. You know what I'm saying? And so there is no qualms on my end.
Mine as well.
Glad we had a conversation.
Yes.
It was more just getting it out.
I believe so. And I want to say I respect you, but I want you to understand too that I'm also a straight up individual. I'm gonna, tell you how I feel, just like I want you to tell me the same thing. I don't feel nothing negative towards you, your channel, or anything. Honestly, I'm really happy that I came on here and we got to speak. People are gonna respond and say what they want to say, but at the end of the day, it's what you and I think at the end of the day, and I'm cool with the conversation as long as you're cool with the conversation. Because your language is different. I'd be like, is he gonna miss? Not your language, just some of your dialect. I was like, what is that?
But listen, thank you again, Kamish, for coming on here, being honest, transparent, and just having a conversation with myself as well. I think we've achieved what we wanted to achieve, which we wanted to show everybody that we can agree, disagree, and come to a table and still talk and say, hey, look, this is what I'm feeling, this is what you're feeling. And kind of move from there and then move onwards, you know what I'm saying? And
yes.
There's nothing else. So obviously, I'm come up here and like I said, there's no issues here now. Bible the bygones and move forward. I appreciate that so much.
All right, thank you, sir. All right. I hope you guys were in the chat because they were dragging your girl. They were dragging your girl. I'll be back.